Good evening, everybody. We're back again, better than ever. Bias with a little truth, and I mean a bit of truth.
A lot of truth.
We coming in today to y'all on a pleasant, wonderful Tuesday after a long weekend of everybody having some fun, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun here too. I'm your boy D Cop here with his boy Reggie, King of the Trolls, Homer
King
Reggie,
of Trolls.
as we know him, Homer Reggie. Hey, before we get started, let's talk about our sponsors. State Farm, Matt Gaddis, Home Life Auto, Renters Insurance, 317-894-3865. Wire to the nines. Any wireless needs you got, cameras, microphones, anything you want to do to set up your significant other in your home, they got you. And then last but not least, we're going to have a little bit more conversation about this at the end of the show. We're going to be at Big Z Sports Grill, 7802 East Brookville Road. Coming to you soon, July 25th. We'll be more to talk about that at the end of the show. But again, thanks for our sponsors. Thanks for the support. We appreciate it. So, without further ado, it's time. It's time to talk. And the talk is nothing like the World Cup, Reggie. Where everybody's been excited about this, man. I mean, I saw people posting USA, the chants, and all of that, man.
Hey,
Talk
man,
to me
look,
about the World Cup.
I'm impressed with how soccer has grown in, my bad, football, what they call it in Europe and then the rest of the world. I mean, actually, football may be a bigger sport than, am I freezing up or something?
Yeah, you froze up. You froze up. Look happy, though. You look happy, but you were froze.
It's good to look happy. I don't know why I'm freezing up.
Now you look sad.
I ain't doing nothing. I don't know what the heck
Stop
going
doing
on.
whatever you was doing. You was live.
I ain't doing nothing. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me though, at least?
Yeah, I can hear you, but
okay. Well, I'm gonna keep talking then. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm gonna keep talking. I ain't gonna worry about it.
Remove you and bring you back in. Let me see if I can do that. Hold on. Let me add this thing. All right, where you? Let's see. I don't know. You froze still. You still there?
Well, don't worry. I can hear you.
And our pre-production, everything was fine. Pre-production, everything fine. As soon as we go live, no, you back. Whatever you do.
I don't know. I wouldn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing.
Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me.
Hey. But football. I'm impressed with the growth of football, soccer in America. I mean, there's tons of kids. I'm going around soccer fields. I'm seeing soccer fields like I'm seeing pickleball fields. The growth here is tremendous. I was hoping the U.S. was going to win, but after your president chimed in and got that red card rescinded, I knew we were going to lose. Every place he goes, we lose. And when he went to the Knicks game, I mean, I'm not a Knicks fan. I was glad the Knicks lost. I wish they went to a couple of other games. But yeah, the Knicks lose. He's just a loser. And I know this show isn't a political show, but hey, I got to call a spade, and Trump is a loser. But World Cup soccer has came a long way. I thought it was a bad call, but the ruling organization had made a ruling. The guy should have been set out. But I did hear about another player that had a foul, that his was suspended until a year later. Messi also. So it seems like, depending upon who you are, your red card may get suspended. If you're a player that's, well-renowned, people come to see, you will get your red card rescinded. But I also noticed something in football. Man, they flop just like James. My God. Man, the flopping going on. I said, now James done got the flopping in soccer. Next thing you know, he's got flopping in hockey and football also. Golly, what is going on with all these professional athletes flopping? Man, play the game and stop flopping.
Boo this man.
We're talking about flopping. We're talking about flopping.
Hey, so what you're telling me is this, right? You saying the largest sports, in the world, right? Football, their football, European football, has taken on some learning tools and tricks from the great LeBron James. Is that what you're telling me?
100%. They've been watching the NBA. Man, there's not too many players that don't flop in the NBA. I mean, it just kills me. It messes up the game. It messes up soccer. It messes up football. It's tremendously. Play the game and stop flopping. You know, all this is gonna trickle down to AAU and high school and
what you mean?
junior
Don't
high.
trickle down. Have you seen did you see the clip I sent you? The kid was about 10 years old. He's going to the basket doing the head snap. I'm like, I'll send it to you again because you probably got so much jump. So it's probably your jump. Yeah. So it's out there, believe me. But you know, I would talk about this, you know, as far as the World Cup is concerned. Belgium, what they did after the match was very impressive. They were in the locker room, they were playing YMCA, and they were doing the Donald Trump shuffle. Did you take a look at that? Did you see that?
No, because I was at work. I was at work, so I was only able to see clips of the. You know, I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. You know, I was only able to see clips. You know, I'm not gonna tell y'all where I work at. Y'all trying to get me fired. But yeah,
let me tell you this though. You know, and I didn't know this until let's see. Today's Tuesday, Sunday. Antonio Freeman's son was on the USA team. Antonio Freeman is a receiver that played with Green Bay in the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. Remember the Monday Night Football game against Minnesota? The ball, you thought he hit the ground, he caught it and ran it in for a touchdown. Him.
Yes.
His son was on the team, and I didn't know that. They interviewed him, and he talked about. He says, you know, his plan was to have his son learn football, American football, and be a football player. But he says once I realized that he was really going to be good at soccer and was good at soccer, he said, you know, I gave that up and I supported him 100%. And I'm glad my son had an opportunity to play the game that the most popular game in the world.
Man, I mean, look at Dennis Rodman's daughter. She's one of the highest played. She is the highest played soccer player around. You know, and
on the female side.
On the female side, yes.
That's pretty good. I didn't know that.
She's the highest paid female soccer player. She just got a record-setting contract maybe last year or 2 years ago. If I'm looking to the side now, you're going to make me have to Google it. So, you know, I got my split screen going on. What y'all talking about, I ain't playing. You know, I don't have a teleprompter. I just got the split screen going on. So I'm looking to the side. I'm looking up a little bit of extra knowledge, y'all. Don't be mad at me because I'm checking my knowledge. But let me tell you something. Belgium was the better team. They were faster, and those long passes that they did, they just got the U.S. off balance. USA played one of the worst games that they played, you know, to this point.
I've heard that multiple times. I've heard that multiple times from multiple people said the same exact thing.
At some time in the near future, the U.S. will be able to compete, but soccer is just so farther advanced, even in Africa. You know, that guy said the African country shouldn't have made it. The Africa had like 7 countries that got, you know, or 6 countries that got by the bye round. Man, soccer in other countries, besides baseball in the Caribbean, is one of the
it's their game. It's their game.
Right.
And you know what? Once it's your game, you work on it. And that's why they're so dominant, right? Again, I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm some you know soccer aficionado at all in any way, shape, or form. But here's what I did. I did make a little joke about it this morning. I know a lot of people who I hadn't heard a word about soccer in the last 4 years. All of a sudden, they're coming out with, "Hey, I'm watching the World Cup and USA." So I said, "Hey, when does the USA play again?" So I guess that means they won't be playing. I don't know if they're the knockout round or what, but they're done for another 4 years. So those of you all that are 4-year soccer fans, you all can put your USA jerseys up. You can tuck them away in your totes and everything and bring them back out in 2030. So enough about the World Cup. We're 9 minutes in. We've been talking about the World Cup. So that's good.
The World Cup wasn't even in our pre-production meeting. You just went off script like usual. But check this out. Trinity Rodman of the Washington Spirit, she makes $3 million a year. Oh, hold on.
You got to catch a decimal.
It's a 3-year contract where she makes $2 million per year, including performance bonuses and after incentives. So
That's pretty good.
she is the highest female, unless Google's wrong, in soccer right now. But I am highly impressed with how soccer's current. I found out what the outside is. It keeps people from cherry picking. You know how you used to do at West Montgomery Park when we were playing basketball? You would stay at the other end of the court and wouldn't play no defense. And you would cherry pick, and somebody allowed the ball down there and you would
Yeah,
score.
I wouldn't do that, but I think that was you. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So that's what outside is on soccer. So I learned a new term, and I learned about the fouls. I picked up a little bit of soccer knowledge.
That's pretty
Next
good.
thing you know, so yeah.
You know what we
yeah.
could do? We could call it bias with a little bit of soccer as we go forward. How about that?
No, because we probably won't talk about Major League Soccer here for a while, unless it's a controversy, Let's go to our next subject. Let's
Okay,
go to
fair
one of our
enough.
main subjects.
Fair enough.
Let's go to all this mess in the WNBA. Let's go to
Lord.
people hating on Caitlin Clark. Let's go to the death threats. Let's go through the Sylvie Cunningham finger pointing mail. Let's go to that. Let's go to that. I'm going to let you start it out this time.
You hear that scream? That's the scream of the Caitlin Clark fans. You better not disparage Caitlin Clark. Let me tell you this: the last few episodes we had, we were honest about Caitlin Clark. Honest, gave an honest, fair assessment about her and her game. Man, we got threats. We got people saying bad things about. Hell, Isaiah had to remove, I think, 2 or 3 comments. It was that bad. I told him personally, I said, you should let it all ride. I'm not afraid of that. We're going to talk the truth. You can have your feelings, your opinion, and all that you want. But here's the deal, bottom line. We're going to talk facts over feelings. If you feel like Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA, this is the wrong show to watch. We love her.
Very wrong.
We love her. We appreciate her, and she's awesome. However, she is not the best player in the WNBA. Now, mind you, when she goes on the road, it feels like a Michael Jordan game back in the day. That crowd, when she hits one of those 25-foot threes, they go crazy. A lot of times you think you're at Cambridge Life, but you're not. You're somewhere else. So
let me tell you.
That's real. That's real.
Let me tell you something about Caitlin Clark. She is a great player, but she has a way to go on her defense. She's not the best player on the Fever, but the Fever need her. I've heard people say that the Fever don't need her. Yes, the Fever need her. Her shooting and her passing is A1 and top notch. Kelsey Mitchell is the best player on the team right now. Sylvie Cunningham hitting threes is off the hook.
Well, she's
Alexis Hall.
She's healthy as well, too. She's
Alexis
healthy,
Hall
man.
reverse layups is very, very good. But I want to get to. There's a couple of people that are mad at Clark because they feel like she's not doing enough to speak up about the racist fans that she has. She has did all she can do.
It ain't her job. It ain't her job to speak about
she responds. She's responding. I do not support that. She's a Taylor Swiftie and everything, and everything. She's not a Trumpster. She's not a MAGA guy. They're trying to make her into a MAGA guy.
Girl, lady.
They're trying to make her into a MAGA lady. And she's not. She wants no parts of that. That's what I've been trying to tell a few people. Yeah, I like Caitlin Clark, but her defense is like James Harden or worse. Just give me 10% defense, Caitlin. Please. Give me 10% defense, and I'll be happy. But when that Fever offense is clicking, it is clicking. The way they played against Vegas the other day, I know Clark didn't play, but Wilson didn't play either. They were all, man, they were run. One thing I think the Fever need is they need a center, because I think Boston needs to be moved to power forward. That's her true position. That's just what I think. I'm impressed with the WNBA all over. People are mad because that lady shouldn't have got death threats. Man, there's always stuff going on in NBA games, elbowing, and she came down with her fist on her face, whatever. Hey, it's a sport, and I ain't your friend on the court. I ain't your friend on the golf course. I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna say you hit a bad shot.
We hit a good one. Look at this. Look at this.
I
What the hell is that? Hey man, you didn't tell me you was bringing his butt into the show
No,
because I don't like that Lakers hat. You can't come in this show, not on my show, with no Lakers hat.
Hey, Reg, you want me to remove it? They gotta go, Reg. They gotta go. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Bring him back in here. I want to see what he got to say.
I wanted to say, because Reggie, I was commenting about the Caitlin Clark stuff, and yeah, I didn't delete any comments. But all I said was this week, what everybody got mad about was, I said she isn't the best player in the league. I said she's arguably not a top 10 basketball player in the league.
Right.
But she is the most popular. She is the biggest draw. I just said she's not the best basketball player, which I think a lot of people that are actually WNBA
the three guys on this panel say we agree with you.
I think there's multiple WNBA fans, not Fever fans, not Caitlin Clark fans, that could name you arguably 15 players better and sometimes 10 players better than Caitlin Clark from a basketball perspective. But when I was talking about popularity, I mentioned Angel Reese, and they thought I meant Angel Reese was better than Caitlin Clark, and all hell broke loose.
They should have listened better because you didn't follow that. They should have listened better. What you said was you got Caitlin Clark, you got Asia Wilson, you got other players who brought on that popularity. That's what we talked about, and that's an absolutely fact. There's no argument or apology needed in that because you're exactly right.
Yeah.
No, Alabama champion. That ain't a great hat. No Scott Nichols.
No Scott Nichols.
No Scott Nichols. Caitlin Clark couldn't play defense for the Pacers. Man, he went up read these comments and these haters go on.
Can we go back to the NBA?
I just had to come back
to the NBA.
No, stay here, Isaac. Stay here, Isaac, because we're going to talk about the fakers in a minute. But
WNBA.
I understand.
About Caitlin Clark.
Exactly.
You talk about her popularity, her skill set.
I understand exactly what you're saying. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson brought the league back. Popularity is important to bring eyes to the field. James brought more eyes to the NBA. Caitlin Clark, she brought eyes to the NBA. She's part of the reason they're expanding. She's part of the reason they get more money. She's half of the reason why they get private jets and more security because with Griner, what happened with her in the airport. But Caitlin Clark is part of that. You know, you have a bunch of fans that don't know basketball. Yep. They don't even know the WNBA. They don't really realize that the WNBA is the pure form of basketball because they don't have the men's athleticism.
Hold on a minute, though. Let's be careful here because
they actually run plays.
On our show this past Sunday, we chronicled a whole lot of flopping and throwing around on the floor for the WNBA. Okay, so we gotta be careful. I know we talk about they're pure form. No, they run a lot of the same sets the NBA runs, man. They run a lot of the same sets, a whole lot of. Yeah, but I'll tell you this.
No. In the NBA they do a lot of. Isolation in the NBA. They do a lot of isolation.
A lot of the same sets. I didn't say all the same sets. You see a lot of the ball action that you see in the NBA for teams that pass the ball well, like Golden State, Pacers, a few other teams. You see a lot of the same ball action. You got to pay attention to that. But let me go back to your statement about Aaliyah. I disagree with you, and Unc does too. Aaliyah is in the right position. She's thick. She's about 6'2.5", 6'3". She's a center. The Fever need a wing player that can help her. She's a center and she needs to stay at center. That's her best position because she's a good passer and she passes well out of the post. Well, really good out of the post. I like her there. You know, I do say this though. I think she is a little tender. She's a girly girl, and I like that though. She doesn't. When you see a little bit of a scuffle, she ain't trying to get in that. Look at all the scuffles that the Fever have had all year long. You don't see Aaliyah Boston in any of that. She's like, hey, I'm not doing that. That's not my deal. She knows who she is, and I like that.
And everything I've said over the last, I think, 2 weeks, it's not me being negative on Caitlin, but it's like, and I saw a great post about this today where somebody said, if you look at the slander that NBA players get, NFL players get, MLB's players get, just for anything, right? Missing a game-winning shot, doing whatever that affects their team negatively. I mean, I'm probably on Twitter more than both of you guys, but the slander that
by far,
some of the slander that these players get. Like, I remember, like, regarding this team, Kyle Kuzma gets slandered every week. I mean, just things that were just ridiculously out of line, but they were funny. And I think that's what a lot of WNBA fans and Caitlin Clark fans are going to have to understand is if you attract a mainstream audience, there's going to be jokes after jokes, offensive joke. Like, there's just going to be jokes. And for this league to continue to rise, all I said is you've got this popular player, right? And how do you bring everybody else up to her level? I think Paige Beckers and Juju Watson are two great examples because they're going to bring their own fan bases as well.
Hey, listen,
Caitlin has a huge fan base right now.
Hold on, let me compare Caitlin Clark to somebody, and I'm not talking about in basketball skills, but popularity. When Michael Jordan came in, they were bullying Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan brought a lot of eyes to the NBA also. Caitlin Clark may be similar in that. I'm not talking about her skill level, but the eyes on her. Anytime the Fever, they were in Vegas, Clark wasn't even playing. And I'm seeing the players down there signing autographs before the game. It's just packed. All you see is Iowa jerseys and a Fever jersey. Yeah. That's just like it used to be with Jordan. The Jordan jersey, when the Jordan shoe came out. The North Carolina Jordan jerseys and stuff. So you need these people to increase your viewership if you want to survive in today's sports system.
To maintain, right? So with that said, yeah, we understand that Caitlin Clark is a draw, but she can't be the only draw because here's what happens, what we got now. We've got the Caitlin Clark side and we got the other side. And that's why there's a lot of angst right now. And I'm gonna break down what happened at the Phoenix game a week and a half ago. The issue is, Bonner was in Phoenix with Sophie, right? Bonner comes here. Sophie protects Caitlin. Bonner and Alyssa are in a relationship. So that's why that became an issue in that situation in Phoenix, because Sophie and Bonner played on the same team together, and then the relationship with Bonner and Alyssa. That's why that became such a big deal, right? It wasn't just basketball, and just I'm gonna make it clear, it wasn't about basketball. It was about showing up things, right? And if you look at the history of those four ladies right there, that's where that history is. Remember, Cunningham was in Phoenix, was a teammate there. Then she came here. So it's bigger than it was just a basketball play. No, the hell, it wasn't a basketball play. And there's another girl got knocked out last night. I forget her name. I saw a clip of it. Got knocked out last night, carried out on a stretcher. They're not physical. They're dirty. A lot of those young ladies are dirty, and they need to stop. They need to stop that. I'm being real.
Hey, Daryl. Hold on, Daryl. 90s and 80s, you come down the line in the NBA. There wasn't no blood, there wasn't no foul. There was a lot of dirty stuff going on.
You should have watched the show on Sunday.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to go back and watch it.
Isaiah, tell him. I said, this is not the 70s and 80s of the NBA. This ain't the cocaine NBA. Okay? So they got to stop that garbage because you know why? They just hit the ground running. I said this before. For 20 years, they were a shit show. The last 4 years, they've come along. You want to get that taken away from you, keep on doing what you're doing. The teams have to control, and the leagues have to control these players. When there's a scuffle, you'll see one coach go out on the floor asking the ladies to stop. Asking. Somebody's got to be able to say, you better stop this or you're going to get really suspended.
Yeah.
So I'm just
girls, man.
This ain't the 70s and 80s of the NBA. I don't like it, man. I don't like it at all.
If you go and watch the FIBA games, women, men, I mean, there's scuffles, but even just the basketball product itself is better than the NBA. It's better than, arguably the WNBA. And I said it on Sunday. Look at the way SGA played in that FIBA qualifier. I don't know who they were playing against. Look at the
You watching that?
It's been talked about.
I watch it.
So I went back.
So you two are the ones. Okay. So you two are the ones. Okay.
Don't nobody care about you. Don't nobody care about you.
You're not gonna punk us.
We don't care what you think.
I went back and watched the highlights, right? And all I'm saying is, look at the way SGA plays in the league, and look at the way he plays in FIBA.
Because he can get away with it.
Yeah, and that's my point. The rules are infinitely better in FIBA, but that's the thing. I don't think either league is going to learn from it and fix their issues. because
No.
and Adam Silver oversees the WNBA. I realize they have another commissioner, but Adam Silver still oversees the WNBA a little bit. So, and there's not going to be any real change with this league until Adam Silver is not the commissioner. What will you?
Well,
I don't know why you hate on. I don't know why you hate on Adam Silver so much.
Now,
You hate on him every chance you get.
Why
Why y'all hate on him?
What-
I'm gonna tell you the WNBA problem right now.
Oh.
The referees suck. The
Boo.
referees
That's
suck.
everybody. That's every
The
referee.
referees,
You
they
mean to
are
tell
the
me
worst
we waited for you to
referees
talk to say
in
that?
sports league.
We waited for you to say that. I thought you was gonna say something significant. The referees aren't there to break up fights. They're there to officiate
If
basketball.
the referees
It's the
will take
league.
control of the game,
They
the
can't control
referees don't
nothing.
take.
Have you seen those referees? The referees are smaller than the players, and that's the
It don't
WNBA.
matter. If they start throwing some players out the game, then you'll see.
The league determines that.
You
The
check
league
them out.
determines
The
that.
league ain't determined anything.
Reggie,
You don't know what you're talking
Reggie,
about.
hold on, Reggie.
Who thought?
Reggie, is the sky
No,
blue?
it's-
Is the sky blue?
Nah, no, it ain't blue.
that's the point. It doesn't matter. He ain't gonna agree anyway,
The
Isaiah.
sky is
It don't
blue.
matter.
Obviously, the refs are bad. Like, we know this.
Right.
I mean,
All the
like I
referees are
said,
bad. What are you talking about?
There's not gonna, if there was going to be reason
No.
to change, Adam Silver would enforce the flopping rule. He'd enforce a lot of the rules that we thought he was going to enforce that he has.
We hoped.
It's not about. I don't. At the end of the day, I don't think it's about the refs because a lot of these refs that have been around the league have officiated good games before, right? But there has to be a higher power saying,
The league, commissioner,
we
the
want-
league.
For example, I go to IU East in basketball, right? The league, the NAIA, wanted to. They wanted the offensive scores at the end of every game to be higher. So they changed their charging rule around, and they changed some other rules around because they wanted both teams in the games to be more higher scoring. That's what this all comes down to. This doesn't come down to the rest. This comes down to the
Isaiah.
wanting.
This will be good.
Isaiah.
This will be good.
Isaiah, you're
This
too
is
young
good.
to remember because you only 22. You just turned 23.
He's talking about the right now, chump. He ain't talking about
You're too young to
60
remember.
years ago when you were
But the-
20.
When the NBA was more physical and it was blood coming down the lane, if you came down the lane, you was going to get an elbow in the jaw. The NBA wanted more scoring. Those games were low-scoring games, like 80 to 75,
They were low scoring.
or 90, 85. So what they did was the freedom of movement came about. You can't hand check anybody. You got to check with the elbow. That came about, and then they gave more. Go ahead.
I just disagree because they were low-scoring games in the 90s and the 2000s and even the early 2010s because nobody was shooting the three ball. Around the end of the 90s, they introduced zone defense.
Man, that's a whole nother show. You talking about the three ball, and that's all
the
they come
last
down on the
week,
fast break and
Reggie,
shoot
it's
the
your
three.
fault. You
That's
took
a
us
whole
from
nother
W
show.
to the NBA. We were talking about the WNBA. You didn't want to bring up the thing on the NBA back when you was 40 years old in the
man.
70s. Nobody's thinking about that.
You know what? I helped you pass at Warren Central. You wouldn't even graduated without me. Do you
were the
know
one
what
on the sixth year- you were the one on the sixth year
is?
plan, not me.
Do you know what I is? That means example. I was using the NBA as an example of the WNBA.
We don't need your example because we're talking about another league called the WNBA that's not the NBA. So go back to the WNBA, and what I said was right, what Isaiah was right, and you're wrong. Just own it.
You're wrong.
Finally,
You're
you
wrong.
can just say you're wrong. That's okay. And we'll take that as a whole. But listen, real talk, the WNBA does not clean up that mess. They're gonna have some problems.
I don't agree with you on that because they're looking at it from this standpoint. Any news is good news. If people are talking about it, like we ain't never really talked about. We did 3 shows on WNBA: Cops Corner, Game Time Network, and now my show. We have never talked about the WNBA this much before in our life.
Here's why, right? Because there's no action. There was no action. This is action, but here's the thing: all is going to happen. Something's going to bad happen to one of these players, and all of a sudden, it ain't funny no more. It ain't funny games no more. That's what I'm saying. That's when that young lady got the death threats. Those are real. We can play with what people were saying. Well, let's get back to the play itself. No. The play itself is the play on the court. But this is life. And you talking about
I agree, Scott.
I agree with what Scott said here. The league is this physical But I think with more eyes on it now, people are turning it into a political thing, and they're turning it into a lot of things that it's never been at this point. The league has always been this physical. To a degree.
It's dirty now, though. It's dirty now.
More people are seeing it. They're taking it and they're running it with certain narratives. Not to say DCOT is, but I'm saying in general.
Oh, DCOT is definitely.
And that's why.
Shut up.
And that's why I say, though, when it comes to this league, they're just gonna. I think the physical play to me is okay. I get it. Things can get out of line, but that happens in almost every league at some point. I just think what the league has to be better at is controlling their players and telling them with a newfound audience is going to come newfound positivity and
responsibility and responsibility as well too.
Because obviously the clips where I talk positive aren't going to blow up, but I have said multiple times the league has to take better care of Caitlin, but also the other players surrounding Caitlin as well. Because if Caitlin's the center of the ecosystem, you got to make sure everybody else is eating too, right?
Well, I hope the young lady that took out on the stretcher last night's okay. Right.
I do too, of course.
And that's the thing, right? Those are things you got to clean up. I'm not saying it was dirty, it was clean or whatever, but she wasn't out there flopping. She's coming out there on the stretcher. So I want to watch more of the WNBA. We've been more involved in it. We got some great news at the end of this show to talk about the WNBA, what we're doing for our live show. It's there. Watching more WNBA than ever, 100%. Like we talked about, little mama, she wanted to go to the game. Got her taken care of. Shout out to my boy Dennis. Dennis took care of my little mama. That's all good because people want to see it and they're there. But you want to see a good product too. You want to see basketball. It shouldn't break out to a boxing match.
Hold on, Jeff Jones. Yeah, he got on a faker's hat. We're going to get on that in a minute. Don't leave the show. We're going to get on that in a minute. Back to the WNBA. Now finish your point, dummy.
No, watch who you call dummy. But with that said, I made my point. The WNBA needs to clean up that quote-unquote physical play that's dirty.
I agree.
The coaches on the sidelines got to do a better job of intervening, and that commissioner needs to be gone anyway. She's the
This her last year. This her last year anyway. They didn't like how she handled the collective bargaining agreement. I think this is her last year anyway.
Here's what would be great for
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Have y'all ever liked any commissioner of any pro league? I've never heard you. Well, I don't know about you, Isaiah, because you're kind of young. You probably had commissioners of the Pee Wee League.
What am I saying about the commissioners?
I'm asking you. Is there any that you've ever liked?
Listen. Here's the bottom line. I'm gonna call them out for their stuff. They might like them. Hell, they ain't my friends. I'm gonna call them out on their stuff.
I think David Stern is.
I
think David Stern did a good job, and I don't think Roger Goodell. I mean,
the hell with David Stern too. I mean, because he jumped the gun on a lot of things, right? He jumped the gun on a lot of things. But when we're talking about Goodell, he is the king of the NFL. He's got these players thinking they're just so privileged to be in the NFL. They're so privileged that after 5 years they got no life insurance. They got no health insurance. They got nothing.
I think Goodell and Stern,
you keep Goodell as far as I'm concerned.
I think to me, I just really don't like what Silver's done with the league as a product. I mean, yes, I get it. Stern and Goodell have probably done worse stuff outside of the product, but from a product standpoint, I think Silver's done the best job at making the product worse compared to the other two I just named.
Well, I tell you, here's my hope. I hope him and the commissioner for the WNBA leave together. That's my hope. And that's. I'm
ready for Mark Tatum, who does the second round of the draft every year. It's time to.
There you go. That's all. He's the second commissioner, or whatever the hell you call him.
Second in command, but he would be next. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm
gonna tell you the weakest commissioner, and it's got to be the commissioner of Major League Baseball, because the Major League Baseball Union. We talked about this last week. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. I know this went in our production in a minute. But the Major League Baseball has the most powerful that union in Major League. We're gonna do another show on that, and I want you to come on that show.
Before we get to the NBA, let me tell you this, Reggie. Someone commented when I said the MLB Players Association rivals UAW. Some dude tried to clown me as if I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm talking about a kid of a UAW parent for 33 years. So you
and I've been a UAW member for 31 years, and I agree with you.
Some audacity to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. The Players Association, MLB, rivals only the UAW.
I'm UAW. What is he talking about?
Man, please, you better get some game. I hope he come on here. And get on the show. We can talk about. We can add a few more people to the show. Anyway, back to that.
Look, Darren. This is my show. Cot can't fire me. He ain't a vegan. Come up for air.
Hey, listen, man. I'm not a vegan. I'm a pescatarian. There's a difference.
You ain't that. You go to that church, Presbyterian church, whatever they call it. You ain't a Presbyterian. You go to one of those churches.
You can't even pronounce it. How the hell you can't even pronounce it?
You ain't a Presbyterian.
We're not going to talk about the NBA free agency and who won and who lost. We're going to start off with the team of truth with a little bias. The team that you got in the corner here, out here in the corner. The team. Well, you got a Colts hat on. Anyway, the Indiana Pacers. What do we think happens with our guy, Kelly Oubre, forward coming from Philadelphia 76ers? Pacers didn't get a first-round pick. We know that. We know all of that stuff like that. Indiana Pacers adding Kelly Oubre basically as a replacement for Ben Mathurin. What do you think about that, Isaiah?
You know, I said this. I think the Pacers are going to be all right, but I do think somebody brought it up to me, and I don't necessarily disagree. I think the Pacers are going to miss Mathurin a little bit, and maybe in some retrospects, in a basketball standpoint, I think they'll miss Miles Turner a little bit.
No, we won't miss Miles Turner. He's on the back end of his career.
We talk about the Boston Celtics playing their 5-out offense, right? The Pacers basically played 5-out offense as well. With Turner,
with a lot more movement. They're not set.
I know.
Yeah, they're a lot more. Yeah, a lot more movement.
With
Yeah.
Turner out on the floor, it gives them that ability to play 5-out as well. Where
Right.
It's going to look a little different now. Now they can always run the small ball lineup with Toppin at the center position like they've done in the past, which I think they'll do more now. But I think the Pacers are in a good spot. Do I have my concerns? Yes, I do believe this Pacers team is going to start out slow out the gate. People are going to be more interested in the Indianapolis Colts, and then eventually the Pacers are going to turn the corner very close to the All-Star break, I think.
No. But you need to keep the Pacers out your mouth. First of all, you got on a faker's hat, and then you want to degrade my.
First of all,
go ahead, finish.
First of all, you didn't let me finish. And the reason I say, why are they going to get off to a slow start? I think it all depends on Tyrese. I love Tyrese, but he's the engine that makes that car run, and I think it is going to be a struggle for him to get out the gate. Coming off the Achilles tear, the rehab maybe not going as great as you want, but at least the surgery was good.
Let me give some credence to Tyrese Halliburton. I've got it on 100% authority. He is 100% healthy. He's gotten over his shingles. He's working out twice a day. He's ready to roll. There's been no setbacks since 3 weeks ago when he came out about he was healthy. No setbacks. I'll keep everybody posted on that piece. He's ready to roll. And again, to your point, the Pacers can afford, though, to start out slow. The East got a hell of a lot better. You got to hit the ground running. You can't start off 5-11, losing maybe 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 6. You can't do that.
And I think, and I said it on Sunday, I think my top 5 in the East, as of right now, is New York, Philadelphia, Indiana, Toronto, Miami. And 2 of those teams, 4 and 5, really depends on health. Because like I said,
Damon Houston, good point. Good point.
That's my golf buddy. So yeah, he's right. He's right.
Well,
but I think Oubre can be a better fit. I just think Mathurin at times he provided scoring that was well needed off the bench, and who's going to be the guy that can create? Who can be a playmaker off the bench?
This is coming from a Lakers fan that has no bench. Do y'all even have enough players on the team?
He's being complimentary.
Whatever, man. I'm not giving him no compliment. He comes on my show. Show my background. Show the truth. Show my background. He comes on my show, truth with a little bias, with a dang Lakers hat on, to make me go off on a rant. Let me tell you this. The Pacers.
I think they got.
I told you. I tried to tell you. He had something wrong with him. I told you it was a medical issue going on, but you didn't want to listen to me. Now you see firsthand.
The Pacers are going to come out the box firing all pistols. They're going to come out with drones, Scud missiles, nuclear warheads, and everything. The Pacers are going to come out hot. And I'm going to tell you why. Last year, we're going to get on your fakers here in a minute, but we're talking about the Pacers right now.
Hey, listen, but before we got to give a shout out to our Warren Central grad as well, Craig Looper in the house. Craig Luber's watching the show as well too.
Craig Luber was one of the reasons Warren Central beat the #1 high school in basketball at Hinkle Fieldhouse. They beat Broad Ripple in 1986.
Hey, listen, we're gonna have a poll, a Warren Central poll, because this is a Warren Central eccentric show. Craig Luber, Dwayne Futch, 1986 versus the 2018 with Cushenberry and Dean Tate. I would love to see a 2-on-2 matchup there. I would love to see that. Now, you want to talk about some hoopers? I would love to see that. So that's Warren. Those of us that went to Warren Central, we know what we're talking about. That would be great. I would love that.
Okay. Okay, now back to my point. Why the Pacers are going to be better. Back to my point. What'd you say?
I think hold on. I think both teams are gonna be really good next year. I don't understand.
Can I finish
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on today?
He got the fakers, the Hoosiers.
So funny.
Lord have mercy.
Clip that. But my reason.
Oh, it's just so funny.
My reason.
Hey, is it getting hot over there with you, Ray?
Man, I didn't get my hair down, man. Hey, but my reason that the Pacers are going to be better was because the bench and the G League players, the Pacers were required to play last year. Pacer basketball is not a 6-man rotation or 7-man rotation. Most days it's a 10-man rotation. Some days you may not get in the game. Some days you may get in the game. It depends upon the lineup. So that's giving Rick Carlisle more options all across the board. At first, I wasn't excited about the Wnba trade because he has some good games, he has some bad games. But I think he will come in and give more firepower off the bench. Ben Mather is a straight and shooter. I like Ben.
Eli is high as a kite. Eli, you've been good on the show. You've been solid. But this trash, you keep this up, you're going to be banned for 2 weeks from watching the show, Eli. Possibly a play-in. Eli's a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, okay?
Do we see the banner in back? Do we see the banner in back?
He doesn't understand that. But listen, hey, Eli's pissed because they signed a 6-foot guard to a 4-year, $270 million deal. That just sunk all of Cleveland's hopes right there. You're going to pay this dude $60 million a year. Good luck on that one, Cleveland. Reggie, what you say? Why do I hate small guards? That's another one I hate.
What about James? But the Pacers are going to be a lot better. Miles, I'm sorry, Isaiah. Miles was on the back end of your career. If you think about it, he was 10 years in. People used to get mad at Miles. I used to like Miles because Miles had to clean up the defense that the guards were playing. That's why he didn't rebound the ball a lot, because he was protecting the bucket. Miles' last 2 years in the Pacers, Game 7 in Oklahoma, he didn't show up. You know, a couple of games in the playoffs, he didn't show up. He wasn't on the field. I like Miles as a person. I have nothing against Miles about leaving for more money or whatever, or how he left. I don't have any animosity about anybody who leaves any team to go play anywhere else. But I think Zubac was a better deal because he's going to be rough on that interior and he's going to get you rebounds. And I do think Tyrese's defense has came a whole lot better. He used to be the James Harden of defense, but now he actually plays a lot better defensively.
And I don't disagree with you. All I did was list out a couple of concerns I have. I still agree this is a top 5 team in the East, bar none. I think they'll.
Isaiah's been tooting their horn, man. So you got to get up off Isaiah. I'm not just taking a side because that's my boy, but you need to ease up off Isaiah a little bit.
I've never spoken ill will of the Pacers because
he's spoken top 3.
Hey, hold on.
So back off. So
hey, no, Daryl. He's speaking in code. He comes on my show. The banner is me and you with Pacer hats on. He comes on Truth with a little pie. Well, you should wear that. Look, wear that T-shirt when you come on my show. Don't wear no Lakers junk. Don't have no Lakers jerseys in the background. And man,
he's the faithful guy, man. You gotta give him. You gotta give him the benefit, man.
Take the 77 down too. See, look. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
I got you.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Don't worry.
This is
I got
ridiculous.
you. I got you.
This is ridiculous.
Where did we fall off the rails at? We
This
didn't
is
even start.
ridiculous.
So I know we're hitting a little bit of NBA. We start with the Pacers, and that's fine, right? We all know here on this show, this three-headed monster knows the Pacers will be a top 3 team, and there's going to be a couple of guys going to be at least about 20 games this year. I tell you what, we won't be missing many games this year. I tell you that. We're gonna be down there ready to roll for sure.
76ers, Knicks. Hold on, I'm debunking this. The Sixers are probably
Get him out there. That's Eli again.
And I'm just going on paper, right? Okay, I can see an argument for the Sixers and Knicks being better. Raptors, I think there's a chance because defensively, I think they're going to be really good.
You got Celtics in there. Are you for real?
The Celtics aren't going to be better, I don't think. I really don't think Cleveland is. Detroit needs another offensive playmaker. Honestly, I think Detroit could have a real drop-off year. And even if they are in the playoffs, my mindset is when you get to the playoffs, your first option is no longer your first option offensively. And they don't have anybody to balance off of Cade. I mean, the way they were double-teaming Ant last year, go ahead and go double-team Cade, because what are the Pistons going to do?
The Game Time Network, they picked the Pistons to get to the Eastern Conference Final last year. But the King of Trolls,
no. It wasn't the Game Time Network. It was D. Cox. I'm the one that said it. I called it in December. And I stuck with it.
Hold on. But Isaiah and Coach Roman Stallings said that Cleveland was going to lose to the Pistons.
I did
say that. But the King of Trolls, I was traveling to Minnesota, and I'm almost wrecking because I can't type that fast, and we don't have no call-in phone. But the King of Trolls was right about that. Let's go on. Yo, let's go to the Lakers, because we can talk about the Pacers all day.
Real quick, I'm really happy when you're right. Because you smile better, you got more energy, you're on time for the show. When you wrong, you come, hey, I'm running behind. I'm on the golf course. I'm doing this. Sorry, I give me something to drink. But boy, when you're right, boy, you 20 minutes out. We're doing our pre-production. You call me checking on my grandbaby. Hey man, how's the garden doing? Hey man, mom told me to tell you hi. All these nice things. So I like it when you're right.
His veneers are pearly white today too.
Yeah.
His veneers are shining today, huh?
Hey, let's go on to the fakers looking like the 1992 Boston Celtics.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to go, and then I want 2 minutes. So go ahead.
No, then you go first. You go first. You go first.
You got to go first because I want to hear why are the Lakers going to be just horrible next season? I'm curious.
I'm not saying they're going to be horrible.
Let me start. I don't think the Lakers will be. I think the Lakers are being oversold on Walker Kessler on those moves because, again, they still have a turnstile in the backcourt, and that ain't going away. Walker Kessler, and I'm going to do my Coach Corner tomorrow a little bit on that. Walker Kessler is not, listen. He played 5 games last season, 60 the year before. 50-something the year before, 64 the year before. I'm not sold on what Walker Kessler can do because we ain't seen him enough to be able to do something. But I tell you this, I wouldn't give him $32 million on average a year for 4 years, especially with playing behind those 2 turnstiles. I wouldn't have done that. I'm calling it now. Lakers going to be 41-41.
Well, Gerald, they do have 2 backup centers on the bench. They have a number 1 draft pick, and then they have the guy out of Toronto.
Traded him to Washington Bullets. Trade him to the Washington Bullets.
When did he get traded?
DeAndre Ayton is the Washington Bullets now.
You got to keep
I missed that.
Yeah.
Come on.
I missed that.
You're so worried about that Colts team. You're not even paying attention.
But here's the news. They just found out the Lakers will be trading Bronny, and I heard that they're looking for 3 number 1 picks and 2 rotational players. I don't know if it's true or not.
I saw a question on Facebook the other day. It says, "Can Bronny beat Andre Wilson?" I said, "Hell no! She'll murder him." And
there's not one female in the NBA that can beat Bronny.
Andre Wilson wouldn't murder Bonnie James in a one-on-one game.
You and Isaiah both. It's Asia Wilson, not Asia.
Asia on my beef. You know Asia because you put that on all your meat products that you eat because you ain't Presbyterian. Asia. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But the Lakers, I agree with Durrell. I think they may have overpaid for him because, first of all, you don't have one person you got to back up on defense. You have two. Luka is going to have to get defensive minded, just like Caitlin Clark. Luka and AR are going to have to get better defensively for the Lakers to be a top 5 team, because that turnstile is going to be turning like a dog, you know, and that's going to put him out of position from rebound because he's trying to protect the bucket. Now, the Lakers, I am impressed with the moves they have made, but they're right up against the salary cap, and I can't cheer for the Lakers. I know true Laker fans like you, I know a couple of other guys are happy that James is gone from the Lakers, and you're happy with the moves the Lakers made.
There's no real Laker fan does not happen.
Other than being a top 15 team, the Lakers look like, I mean, these ain't the Showtime Lakers. They look like the 92 Boston Celtics and stuff. What the heck happened? I agree with Jeff Jones. They look like they came from the Hoosier movie or whatever.
Anyways, Daryl, I don't disagree. I think the Lakers overpaid for Kessler. Do I think Kessler is going to have an injury issue? No. I think last year in him sitting out was, like I said on Sunday's show, Utah said, you know what? We're still not trying to be that successful. Just go ahead and get the surgery and sit out. You know, because like I said on Sunday, I mean, you said what, 65 or what, 60 and then 65 the year before?
Something like that.
So
65.
I mean, like I said, I'll take that. I mean, there's a lot of guys that can't even get to 50 right now that are all-star level players. Do I think, and like I said on Sunday, you know, you asked me, sell you on Walker Kessler. I don't think I really can. And I said, I think a lot of it has to do with he's almost a 7-footer. His defense is there. What he did in Utah is great. Everything that I've seen so far, it's good for what we need for this team: rebounding and somebody to be a defensive anchor. I'm not calling him this great center, and really nobody in the Lakers fan base that I have seen have called him this great center or whatever. I think he has the upside and potential to be an all-star. Is he there yet? Probably not. I do think playing next to Luka.
Hold on, all-star in the West? I agree with you.
I'm not talking about this year. I'm just saying in the future.
I agree with you on the upside. He has potential to be a better player, but all-star in the West?
I think there's a lot of guys that don't get to the all-star game or don't have the all-star title that in our mind we could already say, yeah, that's an all-star. And I'm not saying that's Kessler. I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
But I do think the Lakers have a good enough roster to be 3rd at best in the West or 6th in the West or hell, even the play-in. But with the way this team has been changed around year by year, J.J. Redick has still coached this team to 3rd in the West in back-to-back years, whether it's interchangeable by 2 games or not. They fell into the 3rd seed, or last year it was the 4th seed. So I think with coaching and just the offensive firepower on this roster, and you know, Luka and AR, they have reasonably been able to be healthy enough to play more than 50 to 60 games. I think with how many injuries you saw last year in the West, I think there is a great chance that the Lakers can win a lot of games and be 3rd in the West, and maybe kind of following this year a 2nd-round exit, because like I said, you know, it's the Thunder and the Spurs, and then it's everybody else. I think Houston could be better. Minnesota has the potential to be better, but I think we have a better overall roster than Minnesota. And then Denver, I'm probably underestimating Denver right now, but
I don't think you are.
Denver's fading, man. Denver's fading. They beat 2 years ago, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're in that 5-6 range, maybe even looking at a possible play-in, because they've gotten older. And think about Jamal Murray last year; that was his opportunity.
And Reggie,
it didn't happen.
In regards to the signings that they made, I like. Oh, gosh, I'm going to butcher the name, but I like Kelishvili, the backup center, power forward / center. He'll be able to space the floor out if we want.
Grimes, Sexton.
I did like the Colin Grimes Sexton at first, and then we signed Colin Sexton, and now I'm like, oh, why do we get Quentin Grimes and not go get a forward? Because I like Sexton is a great counterpart to Austin Reeves and Luka. It definitely helps with the 2 cones that we got out there on the floor at the guard position. I'm calling it.
But you know what hurt the Lakers? They lost Marcus Smart, to the Rockets, and the Rockets also signed Tari Eason.
I don't think Smart's even going to play for Houston.
But listen, to what I'm saying. Smart still would have been the best defensive player on the Lakers if he was still there.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. He goes from a veteran leadership position to Houston, and then they got Tari Eason. Right? Don't sleep on Tari Eason. You know, I think the Houston Rockets are going to be 3rd or 4th in the West, right behind OKC and San Antonio.
All I'm going to say is for the Lakers. My only issue is I wish they would have went out and got a better wing, a more experienced wing defender. But I do like that we're going to give Fierro and Cameron Carr both some playing time this year. Athletically, they have a lot of potential. You know, obviously it's just summer league, but I think from a scoring perspective, Cameron Carr could be a great three-point shooter for us in the future, hopefully maybe this season as well. Keep an eye out on if we can get Jordan Kuminga. The Lakers are pushing hard to get Kuminga, so we'll see if they can make it work. I mean, it's the Lakers. We're going to go over the salary cap and the luxury tax and whatever we got to go over. As long as we don't cross the first apron, I'm fine bringing Kuminga if we can bring him in.
But don't you think Anthony Simons would have been a better get than Kuminga? He would have been cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a 3-and-D guy.
Simons is more of a guard, not a wing.
But what I was going to say, in today's game, you're not playing 6'10", across the front anyway, right? Yeah, and he's got long arms. He's a good defensive player. These guys just got to stay in front of the guy.
You got to think about injuries nowadays. AR and Luka were hurt a lot last year, so you got to think about injuries. You got to have backup in the playoffs. You shaking your head. Luka got hurt. AR didn't play the first couple of games and everything.
Towards the end of the year,
but injuries are for every team. Look at Houston. I had Houston like a number 3 team last year. Van Fleet, whatever his name, the fleet of fans, Van Fleet, whatever his name was.
Coming back though
is big.
That's why
it's big.
He's going to opt into his last year of his deal, right? They're going to work behind the scenes to get him an extension. Of course, that right, because that year, red shirt year, as last year. But I'm going to tell you, people love knocking KD, and everybody knows how I feel about KD as a player. He ain't not a favorite guy like that. He's a
player. He's a great player. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go into Golden State begging him to come there because I don't want to get all into that either. But again, they've got some younger players. They've got Şengün is only going to get better. Şengün is. I'm telling you, he got took a lot of flack last year, calling him soft. He's a basketball player. Mm-hmm. He's going. I'm telling you, watch for the Rock. I'm not saying they're going to win the title and all that stuff, but don't be surprised that the Rockets are blowing some breaks off of a lot of people this upcoming season.
And like I said, I think in that tier 2 spot heading into next season for the West, it's 4 teams. It's Minnesota, Denver, LA, and Houston. Everybody else in the West, they're tier 3 and below. Like, I think the Clippers are going to be interesting to watch. I think they have an interesting roster to where they could make the playoffs or plan, but I'm not counting on it. Phoenix upgraded, but I still don't think Phoenix is better than Minnesota, Houston, LA, and Denver. I think they could be tier 2, but right now I think they're just at the top of my tier 3. And then Portland, I mean, just a laughable offseason. I was hoping they could make some room to maybe improve slightly like Phoenix did, but John Moran ain't improving them in any type of way. The team to look out for next year, though, is Utah. Utah could be definitely a team that could.
You've been saying that.
I thought it was Washington. I thought you were on the Washington bandwagon.
I'm talking about the West.
Hey, his two teams are Utah Jazz in the West and the Washington Bullets in the East. That's his two teams.
It was Atlanta and Minnesota last year, wasn't it?
All right.
Hey, Isaiah, he's been watching, Isaiah. He got you.
But from a roster perspective, it looks like the Jazz are ready to take a step this season, whether that's the playoffs or the play-in. And with how weak the West looks this year compared to last year, I could
put Damon Houston last comment up. He's gonna piss you off, Isaiah.
LA is not a top 4 team in the West, and I didn't say that. I said I think their ceiling is 3rd, and their floor is probably about 6th to 7th in the West. I think if healthy, this team offensively is too good to not be in the playoffs.
Hey, you know what? It's going to be like the Denver Rockets back in the ABA days. They're going to score 140, but they're going to allow 145.
To be fair,
go back, do your history. Denver Rockets were the team that started that first.
We said that about the Pacers in their playoff run last year too.
Yeah,
they're going to score 100 and something, and there's going to be the team right next to them's going to do.
You're going to have to outscore them.
I'm not opposed to that.
Clearly, you're not, right?
I'm not.
Clearly, hey, so hey, we're gonna cover everything. What about Mitchell Robinson signing with the Boston Celtics? 3 years at $47 million. A guy that can't shoot free throws. He's a hell of an offensive, probably the best offensive rebounder in the league. Let's call it like it is. He doesn't have an offensive package. I think that move hurts the Knicks more than it helps Boston. What do you guys think about that?
I think he doesn't need shots, so I think it's going to help. What my inside information
remember, Boston's a five-out team now.
The Fakers wanted him, from what I heard, but Mitchell is a lob threat, defensive threat, presence, and a rebounder.
Boston doesn't want twos. They don't want twos. They want threes, brother.
They don't want Mitchell shooting the ball. They don't want him getting fouled either.
It's gonna be a hack and shack. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a free throw.
It's gonna be defense, lob threats, and rebound. They don't want him shooting the ball.
No, not at all.
They don't want him shooting the ball.
No, I agree.
You got more shots for your people. You know.
But you know, I would tell you this, right? I know we're pivoting around some teams. That's what we talked about, free agency. I know you knocked Detroit a little bit early, and I know that. I get it. But, sneaky good move.
The one Pistons.
Sneaky good move. John Collins signed into Detroit. If they can get another player, a shooter, I'm telling you, the Detroit, I'm not saying they're winning the title, but they won't be the laughable bums.
They lost Tobias Harris.
I know, but John Collins is better. John Collins is a better player.
They're about to overpay for your favorite guy.
No, they're not going to. They're going
to lose Isaiah Stewart too. They lost Isaiah Stewart.
He's in Memphis. Isaiah's in Memphis, but they're looking at about $25 to $30 million if they're looking for the Duran deal, right? They're going to figure it out. He saw that the market wasn't for him. He's going to come back to Detroit with his tail between his legs a little bit. They're going to figure it out. I'm not saying he's going to break the bank, but he's going to get paid. Remember, he was all NBA last season. We can knock him if we want, but last season, the regular season, he was all NBA.
And I gotta give props to Detroit, because Duran comes into the office. He says, I'm gonna go look for money elsewhere. And they said, okay, go.
Did he do it in that voice? Did he do it in that voice?
He said, I'm gonna go find money elsewhere. And they said, okay, go find your money after your playoff performance. And you know who was at the front of the line? The Sacramento Kings. And you know what Duran said? He said, I think I'm gonna go somewhere else. Like, yeah, obviously. So I mean, props to Detroit for letting him go and see that the grass isn't greener on the other side. And the Lakers, before they traded for Kessler, the report came out the night before that they were going to meet with Duran a second time. So once the Lakers had traded for Kessler, it was either the Kings or the Pistons. And if I'm Jalen Duran, I'm sure.
Or Reggie says the one Pistons.
Or the one, yeah.
He had to school me and what that meant. So tell me about what that means, Reggie, because everybody know what that means.
They definitely don't have 8 cylinders, and they definitely don't have a turbo engine. They're one Pistons, and that like a down the road. The one Pistons, that's what I call them.
So as we continue to pathway of the free agency, right, and the trade deal, there's been a lot of heat about the Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia. We're not going to spoil it on this show, because I'm going to do a fact over feelings Cops Corner tomorrow, breaking down Brad the liar, the owner the liar, the fake ass Boston Celtics fans, and the fact that I'm hoping they're going 0-82. There's a whole lot of data that people aren't looking at, and the nerve of these people, all I'll say is this: the nerve of Boston trying to discredit that man and saying that he was the 7th best player on their team. They should be held liable for that. All this anonymous, it was coming from Massachusetts. It wasn't coming from anywhere else. It was coming from Massachusetts. And you know who else was piping that with him? Kendrick Perkins, ex-Boston Celtic. He's on ESPN talking about, you don't know what Jaylen Brown is going to say from one time to another. Can somebody tell me? I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. Can somebody tell me one thing that Jaylen Brown has said or done to embarrass himself, his family, or his heritage? One thing.
First of all, you shouldn't let anything Kendrick Perkins say bother you, because Kendrick Perkins just says stuff for likes and to get people to follow. He's politicking for his next ESPN contract.
They enlisted him to speak because he's on the Talking Head show. That's what I'm saying. They enlisted him to talk this crazy about him. And I'm like, okay, you going to do this, Kendrick Perkins? Okay, I got something for you on Cots Corner on Wednesday. No problem. I'm going facts over feelings. I'm going to get my data. I'm going to be like Reggie. Okay. I'm going to be like Reggie. Wait. Here we go. I'm going to be reading my teleprompter.
Hey, Daryl. One of my coworkers say you always go. You go off. He said I'm rubbing off on you because you go off on rants. He said at last week's show, our pop-up show, you went haywire when we were talking about Brown and everything. That was Joe Jenkins. Who said that sometimes.
Who said that? Who said that?
My buddy Joe that had been to the Pacer game with us.
Yeah,
man, we're gonna have to bring Isaiah to a game with us, but he can't wear that. He can't do like Quinte. He can't wear none of that Fakers, no other team stuff to the game.
Just make sure that here year, one of the games we go to is Pacers
Hey,
with Lakers.
they're not going to treat you like the Knicks fans treated San Antonio Spurs fans. They won't treat you like that. But here's the deal, Isaiah. Now that you're 22, the beer's on you. Just understand.
That's fine. That's fine. All good.
Isaiah, he be at the games like this with them T-Rex orange. He don't never buy my orange too short. Can you carry my beer? Can you pay for this? But that's how he be doing, like a T-Rex. T-Rex. Yeah, that's what he be doing.
Hey, we uncovered free agency, WNBA. We hit World Cup. We hit fighting in between the lines. Should we get rid of these commissioners? We talked a little bit about union. We hit the Pacers in a strong way, of course, which we will always do, right? Especially on Truth with a little bit of bias. Look at the background. You got the background, right? So that's what we got. What else did we miss, fellas? We hit a lot of things.
I'm gonna tell you what we miss. And I like on my show. I always like to double back to this. I like to give you the spotlight, and we like to talk about men and their mental health and getting help and everything. That's the serious part of the show. I mean, I like to joke and laugh, but men, women, kids, if you need mental health, please see somebody. Please call somebody. Daryl has a wealth of knowledge about this. One of his sons' friend committed suicide. One of his co-workers committed suicide. I've known people who've had family members commit suicide. Yeah. It's something that's very serious. And us as men, they always tell us, Isaiah, you're a man, suck it up, don't cry. But, sometimes, man, the weight of the world on our shoulder, we need somebody to talk to and help us through it. So suicide prevention, mental health, your brain is a muscle. The only people that I think don't have a brain are MAGA. They don't have a brain. And, they need help. I know I said I was going to get serious on that, but I know I got political. I'm sorry. Let me get back to the serious note. But your brain is a muscle. And sometimes your muscle needs help. Just like your hamstring or your groin, it needs help. Sometimes your brain needs people to talk to make you feel better, to get over. The world is not easy to get through life. And I'm proud of you doing this, Daryl.
One of the things Kelsey talked about was, we oftentimes say, well, if you need me, just call me. She said we need to flip that narrative and say, I know you need me. I'm going to call you. So therefore, you take that onus off of that person, right? Because that one call could be the difference, right? And I've got a friend of mine, like a brother of mine, my boy Lamont Dwayne Caraway, Warren Central grad, has some challenges, but we come alongside this week. We're going to be there for him, support him, have his back, because I've known him for all of my life, and he's a good person. But with that said, he's not the only person out there asking for help that needs help. So if you see an opportunity to help and make a difference, as you see on the board here, American for Suicide Prevention, there's a donate now button there, and those links are up there permanently. You can go to the AFSP side. It's American for Suicide Prevention, the Indiana chapter, and there's a lot of programs they've got, a lot of resources they have that you can reach out to someone and get the help you need. You're not in this alone, but it takes you to speak to it as well too. We can't read everybody's mind. So have an opportunity to speak to it. And I think this is a cause that's a great segue to what we're going to be doing on July 25th. To you right here, live at Bigsy's. We're going to be live at Bigsy's Sports Grill, July 25th, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Just so you all know, children are allowed at Bigsy's up until 9 o'clock. It's a family-friendly atmosphere. My little mama number 2 is going to be there, the one who loves the fever. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to give away fever tickets. Thank you, Mr. Dennis, my ticket guy for the Pacers. Also, too, we're going to try to get some special guests to show up for us. I'm going to try to see what I can do about getting someone from AFSP to show up. A couple of people have been on the show with us. I'm going to be knocking on their door saying, can you come out for a couple hours and see us and have some fun? It's going to be great. We're going to do trivia. Isaiah is the trivia master, right? Last time I told him, man, that no one wants to talk about KD or anything like that. And sure enough, we took that off the question, and we had a person that knew the answer. We won't do that again this time. We're going to make sure it's out there. So we're going to be posting hints on these shows. So watch the shows. Pay attention to what's going on. As you see, Game Time Network with Bigsy Sports Grill, second in-house show, July 25th. We also, my guy Al Jeans, he is the one of the co-owners of Blue TV. We're going to be giving away some 30-day subscriptions like we did last time as well. Having some of that. We've got white, pink, and blue T-shirts this time up with the game time information on it. So a lot of good stuff going on. I know I said a lot of stuff, but it's really going to be fun. It's going to be more fun because it's warmer outside too.
And I'm going to throw in some gifts as well. I'm going to go to, there's this old sports trading card store up the road. I'm going to go up and I'm going to get some classic football cards, some classic Colts players and Pacer players. I'm going to go up and get some of those and lay them out on the table, and that can be a gift as well. And alongside like a shirt or something like that, but that can be a small thing if you're a sports fan and there's a Reggie.
Make sure don't get no Cowboys trash because everybody get that shit back.
I'm definitely gonna get some Lakers ones and stuff like that. But
Remy, why you starting trouble, man? We were doing a good. We were talking about AFSP. We were talking about giveaways, and then you want to go in there and start bullying Isaiah again.
Hey, I'm gonna prank Reggie one day, and one day you guys are gonna come in and do the show, and all the bias with the little truth stuff is gonna be Laker gear themed and Cowboy gear themed as well. And I'm gonna delete all the Pacer themed ones, so that way you only can use that one for the show that week.
That show will not go on that day. You will not have a show on that day.
But good stuff all around. We've had a good hour and 10 minutes on having some fun, talking some facts. We got Reggie doing this thing.
I was gonna go get a pizza, which I'm still gonna get, but then you guys started talking about the Caitlin Clark stuff, and I was like, I gotta get up there. So
you going to Wanamaker? You going to Ordinary Pizza?
Nah, he lives on the other side. He lives on the other side, man.
I live in Southport, but there's this place called Brozini's that I usually go to, so I'll probably go there.
Hey, Brozini's they got a nice vegan menu as well too. They got a really
you ain't vegan. You ain't vegan.
I'm pescatarian, but it's a vegan menu.
Either. You ain't pescatarian either. You probably eating on a rib right now.
You can't even pronounce it. Stop. You can't pronounce it.
Stop telling that lie. Go to your Presbyterian church on Sunday. You second Presbyterian. You ain't vegan, Presbyterian, whatever they call it.
Until I start getting attacked as usual.
Hey, Isaiah, I appreciate you for tuning in. You're a good friend. You're a smart young man. But don't never in life wear that damn Lakers hat on my show again.
Next, when I got an off week from work, which I had one today, next time I'm off work, I'll let you know. Me and Reggie will do the show, and I'll be all Lakered out. Laker shorts, Laker jersey, Laker hat. I'll be ready. We can do a full Lakers breakdown heading into next season. Me and Reggie.
See, Reggie. See what you started. See, he was just being nice. Now all of a sudden you got.
What's crazy is I'm still a Pacer fan at the end of the day. There's a well-known clip on this show where I said we're not going to talk about the Knicks, we're not going to talk about this team, that team. We're all Pacers 2026. So can't say I don't love the Pacers.
Absolutely. And by the way, my background, y'all see that? Those two that were on the series on that tower, they have the game time flag. If y'all noticed that flag back there, they have the game time flag. Hey, appreciate everybody tuning in, watching this. We had a really good time today, sharing a lot of good information, having some fun. And boy, I tell you, Reggie, you just can't stop. Anyway, we appreciate everybody. Again, thanks to Matt Gaddis, Wire to the Nines, Big Z Sports Grill. We're going to have a lot of fun, y'all. Come on out, enjoy. And we appreciate y'all taking a look at the show. Remember, not just good enough to watch it. Subscribe to the show. Check the ring button so that way you get the notifications. We have a lot of fun all during the week. We don't just have one show. It's not just a Sunday show. We got Monday, we got Tuesday, we got shorts coming out. So you never know when something's going to pop off with the Game Time Network. So be ready, be prepared, and we appreciate all the support. Everybody, thank y'all very much for tuning in. Be safe. Have a good night.